Yes, this is DJI's first ever 360 camera. Actually, are you surprised that DJI actually make a 360 camera? Or are you surprised that what took them so long to finally make a 360 camera? But unlike their phone gimbal, this actually got something that's special. This actually got something that's better, actually better than other. This has a tailor-made square 1-inch sensor. 1 inch. By the way, are you a Star Wars fan? This is where they shot Andor. Yeah, right here. I think it's exactly this corridor. I like Andor, come on. This video is sponsored by Sally. Get 15% off Sally eSIM. Now, full disclosure, DJI sent me this to make content, and I think I can keep this. They never mentioned that. But they have no control of this content, and I don't have to send them video, and I won't send them this video for approval. And because I believe honest to you and be fair to the brands as well. You must have seen 360 video like this one. Well, I have to say, I'm probably one of the first to actually use 360 video, incorporate a 360 video inside a normal flash video, inside a vlog. Not shooting 360 video for the 360 video. Along the years, I found several times that it's really useful, but I haven't actually used them a lot. One of the biggest issues before was the video quality wasn't here, but it's kind of here now. One of the things, as I mentioned, this has a 1-inch sensor. Why do I do this? Because it's not actually a 1-inch sensor, but it's as good as a 1-inch sensor. Well, they're not lying, because traditionally, a 1-inch sensor has a 4:3 aspect ratio, but with a 360 camera, the projected image is a circle. So there's a lot of weight on the sensor. But this time DJI said, honey, I make it square. So technically, it's not a 1-inch sensor anymore, it's 1/1.1 inch, but technically, the image circle stays the same, while use less power, generate less heat, and make the camera smaller. And then it's accidentally a little bit bigger than the latest Insta360 X5 sensor. While the last time Insta360 have a 1-inch sensor is the 1-inch sensor module for the Insta360 1R. What a mouthful. And now disappear from their website. Well, why I keep mentioning about the sensor size and the image quality? Because 360 video naturally is really hard to get good image quality. Well, why is that? Because whatever it shoot 4K or 8K, this one shoot 8K, you're not looking at the whole 8K video. The whole 8K video is like this. And whatever you watch it with a VR goggle or watch it like this, you're only looking at a small portion of the 8K video. You're looking at a zoomed in 8K video. That's why it's so hard to get good quality 360 video. Now, this DJI Osmo 360 can do up to 8K50, 6K60 or 4K100. It takes 10-bit video and has their own D-Log-M color profile. D-Log itself just another log profile made for flexibility for color correction, while D-Log-M is less hardcore. It's easier to correct and better for this kind of small sensors. So yeah, it all sounds really good, but is it actually really good? So as I explained, to compare 360 cameras, I usually look at both the bright side and the backlighting side of the same video. It's the same as I did Insta360 versus Insta360 years ago. Because the 360 video, it takes everything in one video. So the bright side would actually affect the exposure on the backlighting side. Now first, let's look at the standard normal color. The Insta360 X5 isn't bad, but the DJI have a sharper image. Just look at Kai's hair. The houses far away looks really mushy with the Insta360 X5. At the backlighting side, my face is just darker with the Insta360. With log profile, the Insta360 just gives you a little bit more mushy foliage. And color my face just not that natural. As I mentioned, I think Insta360 had been using a really over-the-top log profile for such small sensor cameras. In low light, again my face is darker with the Insta360. Again, more affected by the bright side of the video. And look at the lampshade, it is more overblown as well. Now let's bring up the brightness of the Insta360 with exposure compensation. Interestingly, now DJI have a little bit more noise. But of course, the lampshade on Insta360 is now even more overblown. When I move closer to the lamp, the two footages now look closer. Lampshade still more overblown on the Insta360. For log profile, all I can say is it's really not for low light situation. For comparison's sake, the DJI is less bad. Both have their own low light mode, with the DJI looks sharper and less noise. The lampshade looks similar to both cameras. Now all of this footage have digital stabilization, prone to motion blur in low light, but it's much worse on the Insta360. Both of them have their own anti-motion blur feature, which DJI perform better. But at least with the DJI is so good in low lights that unless you do something extreme like doing extreme spot in the dark, then you'll be fine. I've never rode bicycle. Wow, this goes fast. I never rode on the road. I never rode an e-bike, and oh, the acceleration, and definitely never shooting 360 video at the same time. So yeah, what I'm going to say is I forgot what I'm going to say. This is a good idea. It's a good idea. It's a good for 360 video. But now, if you don't know much about 360 camera, actually at first 360 camera are made for VR. Remember VR? It went well, right? I bet some of you guys probably still haven't tried a VR goggle before to this day. But until Insta360 released the Insta360 One, I think it's called Insta360 One, there's no X at that time. Before that, 360 camera are just for VR, so you're supposed to put it on the stand and walk away and reset it. Yeah, what they do with the Insta360 One is that they add a gyro and as an accelerometer. And what we have is something like this. You can put it on a selfie stick and the selfie stick disappears because it's between the stitching line. Something that disappeared from the stitching line, it was a bug. It was a bug for 360 camera and then turned it into a feature. Oh, it's a public road, it's a public road. And they developed a mean that you shoot 360 video, but then you can use it as a normal flat video like this, like what you are looking at right now. They developed a method on their app that you plug the camera to the iPhone, to your iPad, and then you play back your 360 video and pan around physically with your device, and it will record what you were looking at. This is scary. This is so scary for someone who never rode a bicycle on public road. Shit, and I do it in London. So yeah, that's how they changed. They totally changed how people use 360 camera, and that's brilliant. I have to give credit to Insta360 because they developed everything I've just mentioned from ground up. Another thing you might not know is that both cameras give you their own proprietary 360 video files. You have two ways to make use of them: convert into flat video with the app or desktop software, or to convert them to 360 MP4 files and edit them in video editing software like Final Cut Pro and Premiere. Both of the apps let you manually pan around the 360 video and export them into flat video, or you can add keyframe or track a subject, or physically swing around with the phone yourself while playing back the video, and the app will record your POV and export that to a flat video. I prefer to use Final Cut Pro, so I need the desktop software for conversion. Both desktop software have some editing ability, but I just don't need those. Insta360 Studio lets you select a bunch of video files and simply do a conversion, while DJI Studio insists that you create a project, put each file into a timeline before you can do a simple conversion. Conversion is a slow process with both software. Be prepared to allocate double the length of the time of all the video you have shot. in the case of my M2 Mac Mini. Another thing that holding 360 camera back to become a more mainstream camera is audio issue, because to make use of the 360 camera, you usually put it away from you. You can't really hold it and it becomes just like this. What's the difference between this and holding a normal camera? So you probably always using a selfie stick. So we're so far away and it will be a problem with audio quality. Just like if I'm using built-in mic here, it will become like this. It's so far away. Of course, for DJI, they have a really great advantage is that they have the DJI Mic, and then their own DJI Mic works with their own action camera, works with the DJI Pocket 3, and now of course this one as well. I'm using a DJI Mic Mini, just right here. Told you those, but those magnet black with a big logo. It's not really a great big problem. Just tape over it. But yeah, this is how you wear it. Wear it underneath. There's no point in showing the whole mic in front, like most people do. Of course, you can do whatever you want, but this is a better way. Come on. Insta360 now have their own wireless mic as well. You can only use it with Insta360 camera, or they have a phone receiver. You can use it with your mobile phone, but DJI Mic, they have a camera receiver. You can use it on the phone, you can use it on the camera, and you got the Mic Mini or Mic 2 to choose from. So it's just DJI just have everything just thought of. Like, have to give it to them. Also, the Insta360 X5 only support one wireless mic, while the DJI support two. So let's look at the body itself. It is a little bit more square than what I'm used to the Insta360. Well, I used to the Insta360 X2. This is the X5, not mine, but they're both this kind of longer shape. To my taste, 360 camera, I think it's better with a longer shape, because with a 360 camera, you usually put it on a stick, or when you mount it on anything, on a car, whatever, you want to stick it out from some distance as well. Sometimes I mount it on top of the camera. You can like swing it around, like with a little bit of angle, a little bit of length, like this camera is shooting from here rather than on top of my forehead. And it's also better if in a pinch you want to shoot a little bit of footage or photo when you're holding it. It's just a little bit better, give a little bit of distance from my hand. I like to take 360 photo when I travel. It's a little bit more discreet to just take a photo, one picture that take the whole place I want to take picture of, rather than a phone and then a little bit of here and there. And I also like to use eSIM when I travel, especially Sally, the sponsor of this video. But don't skip this part yet, because I have a 15% off thing for your first Sally data plan. With eSIM, it's just really simple. I just download the app, pick a data plan, install the eSIM at home before I even go to the airport. Rather than you get a physical eSIM and then you try to change that, not physical eSIM, physical SIM card, and try to change that tiny little SIM card on the tiny little tray table when you're arriving at your destination. So I got travel eSIM. Also, they give you extra feature without you spending extra money, like it can block advertising to save you data. It can block malicious sites and block online tracker. It can also change your virtual location, just like using a VPN. And now you can get 15% off with your first Sally data plan using the link in the description down below, or the QR code here, or just download the app, and when you check out, use my code LogCheungHK when you check out. This side, there is the battery. It's the same battery with the DJI action camera as well. And with the adventure combo that I've got, it gives you this battery charging cases. So really nice. You have to give it to DJI for, this is just really useful and convenient. It will show you the battery life, and at home you can charge all three batteries at the same time. Inside of the lid, you can store 2 micro SD cards, but they are really fiddly to get to. So I would just use a proper card case, to be honest. But you might not even need to take spare card because this has 105 GB of internal storage. It's good for, I haven't closed it, good for almost 1.5 hours of 8K 360 shooting. One thing I really don't like DJI is that they insist on device activation. What's that to activate? Maybe there are reasons for drone, but I've never had another camera that I have to activate it to use it. It's annoying and it's unnecessary. So I mentioned that one problem with 360 camera before is that the quality, but now they are finally quite good. I mean, now at least they are almost as good as action camera. I mean, the Insta360 X5 is already really great. Now the DJI is just edged forward just a little bit. It's just still a noticeable difference, better than the Insta360 X5. Not a huge difference, but I still don't think this could be your main camera. I mean, it's still a hassle to always need to use a selfie stick. I mean, you don't have to, but to make use of the unique angle you can get, you will need to use a selfie stick, and you can't use them anywhere you go to. It's just a really hassle, and you always have to process the footage after you take. But still, this is just like an action camera. It's a really specific, really highly specialized camera. It can do things that you can't do with any other camera. This is what it is actually great for. And now finally it comes with decent image quality. Before that, you can only get Insta360, and you now have one more choice. One last thing is that this is cheaper than the Insta360 X5. This is really ambitious from DJI. I think it's a good thing, of course, for consumer. So now, Insta360, your move. Surprise us. Star Wars under Disney, which is one of the Disney Star Wars that get actually good. Andor and Rogue One, obviously. Look at those red lights. Did it give you some Empire vibe? So this is another Andor shooting location. I didn't mean to do an Andor shooting location in London video, but when I think about where to shoot 360 video, I think, oh, Leadenhall is great. Great for 360. And then, oh, the Lloyd's building. It was, it's just next to it. And then I think, what else nearby? Barbican is always good for shooting video. So I plan to, oh yeah, I can shoot in Barbican. Oh wait, this is another Andor shooting location, which is right there. And this is probably one of the most in the square place. And they actually use it in Andor. I mean, it's almost like the little bit fanboy about this, to use this really recognizable spot in Andor. And this bit, when Cassian walking down this corridor,